So 2020 has been this crazy hard year already, right? Think about all the things that we've been through so far. A pandemic that we've never seen anything like in our lifetime, terrible racial unrest this summer, and now a presidential election that seems to be dividing us like no other time in our nation's history. It's been a really tough year. But as we stop and look at the entire sweep of human history, the things that we are going through are actually quite normal. They're things that people for generations have endured. Life is hard. And if there's one thing the Bible reassures us of, it's that simple truth that life is hard. It was hard for the people of the ancient world, and it's hard for us today. That fact has not changed in several thousand years of human history. Psalm 46 is one of those texts I turn to a lot in moments like these when things are hard, when things are uncertain. It begins like this: God is our refuge and strength, an ever present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea. Isn't that a beautiful way to start a psalm, to start a praise to God? I remember reading this psalm after 9/11 and just having this sense of comfort in the midst of great loss and tragedy and sorrow, that God was with us in the midst of calamity and disaster. That was true then, and it's true now, just as it was true for the people who wrote and read these psalms back in the ancient world. They knew that God was with them in the midst of disaster and warfare. And the psalm goes on to speak of warfare, about bad things happening, about wars and fire and destruction. And it has these couple of lines in there that say, "The Lord Almighty is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress." So again, that symbol of warfare, a fortress. But God is our protector and our fortress. And you have to be clear here. It's not that God is going to protect us from bad things happening. The bad things are happening. There's chaos, there's destruction, there's war. So it's not that God is a magic charm who protects us from the bad things happening in the world, but rather it's his presence. He promises to be with us in the midst of those things happening. While those things are occurring, he promises us his presence. So that's the promise we hang on to. And in verse 10, the psalmist reiterates, "Be still and know that I am God." That's a line we come back to a lot. And it looks great on a coffee mug or a cross stitch on our wall, but that's a line that was uttered in the midst of warfare and destruction and chaos. Be still and know that I am God. So I pray right now that in the midst of our chaos around us, in the midst of all the things that are happening around us that are uncertain and cause us trouble, that we could stop to be still and know that God is with us. Amen.